Hello. Good morning. I don't have much to say today. This is probably going to be a short video. Also, I have to leave in 10 minutes to go to the doctor. Um, I don't know that I can really top last week's tutorial Tuesday. I'm going to have to think on that some more. If y'all have any suggestions is how I got to folding a fitted sheet meditatively. So if you just want to leave some suggestions, that would be cool. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm so tired, in part because I have to get my blood taken today, and I am not allowed to eat anything. And I can have coffee if it's black, but I lately have not enjoyed having black coffee, on an empty stomach. So I just have to sort of like wake up naturally. Maybe that's what this is a tutorial of waking up without coffee. That's what I'm doing. The first step is don't lie down. You won't wake up. So I have positioned myself such that I cannot lie down because I would then be laying on my dog. They are protecting me from myself. It is a bit rainy here. Not super rainy, but it's definitely cooler than it was. It got into the 90s yesterday, I'm pretty sure, I think. So then it didn't get down very cool at night last night, but now it's in the 60s, so that's exciting to me. I will give you the rundown of Texas weather any day. Any day you want to know what's going on in Texas, I can real quick give you that information. Oh, geez, this is going to be a rough morning. To make it all the way, place is 20 minutes away. I somehow have to safely drive there while desperately wanting to be asleep. Maybe I'll just have the coffee anyway. And I can teach you. All right, we're going to do that. I can teach you how to make coffee in different kinds of coffee making apparatuses. Apparatuses? I don't know. Couch is eating me. All right. Oh, the dogs want to come. The dogs want to come. They want to teach you also because they love coffee. And by they love coffee, I mean they don't get coffee. Don't worry. I don't do that to my dogs. All right. The computer. No, let's close this. My connection is unstable. Not the only thing. Okay. Welcome back to my kitchen. Do you recognize it? Okay. So, the first thing you do when you're making coffee is you have to decide, do you want real coffee, which is what I call coffee made from grounds, or do you want fake coffee, which is what I call Keurig coffee? Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm probably going to make real coffee because making Keurig coffee, there's no why would I give you a tutorial of that is done. I can quick show you how to do it in my fake non-Keurig. Here it is. You take the cup. The special thing about these cups is that you can peel this off. This is not true of all cups. K-cups, by the way. You can peel this off, and then actually, I have one right here. This is a used one. You can peel this off. And the coffee's inside. Then you can compost the coffee. And theoretically, you should be able to recycle this, but it gets so grubby from the coffee inside that I don't think that the recycling people would appreciate it if I tried to recycle it. So I do throw it away, but I have gotten rid of the coffee inside. So I still feel a little bit better about the Keurig coffee, given that situation. Oh, look, there's another used one. It's like I don't clean up after myself. What a shock. All right. So you have this thing. It goes in here. There is of course I have to touch it, a sharp metal pointy thing right in there that punctures the bottom. And that is where, I believe, where the coffee drains out of. So the water goes through at super high power, high speed and pressure. And then it's filled up in here and then drips out of this hole and then drips out of this hole into this hole, which is where it goes into your coffee. So, fun fact. So you stick this in here. I'm not gonna because I don't want it to break and not be usable. Then, in this version of coffee that I make, you can definitely see how little how regularly I do this. You have to fill your mug up with the water that you want. Go to the sink. Fill up the mug with the water that you want. Then, just for an extra step, you pour that water into here. It is mostly because a lot of my mugs don't pour very well, and this is a much wider, much easier to aim sort of thing. So then I can pour this into there. It's also because there was a time when I was using like one mug pretty regularly. I don't know where that mug is. Oh no. Anyway, I'll have to find it. But so when I did that, I knew how many. This is old. This is like vintage or something. But it has a lot of weird things. And I thought I knew how many ounces were in it. Ounces, yes. But I probably actually knew the tablespoons because I remember the number 22. And if you look at where 22 falls on the tablespoons, we do right here. That's a respectable amount for a coffee mug to have. If you look at the ounces, it doesn't even go to 22. So that would be a very large, and it would not fit. That's the other thing is, if it doesn't fit in this, it can't fit in that because that is like, it's a little bit less than 2 cups. Anyway, so then you put the water in here. Now, fun fact, this is a little baby filter. Little baby filter. And it sometimes gets clogged with various detritus. Mostly coffee grounds. How do they get in there? I don't know. I don't want to ask questions. That's how you get answers you don't like. So then, there's also, this is a puncturing thing too. Wait, am I wrong? Okay, yeah. So there's a puncturing thing for punching this hole too. So, this is a puncturing thing. It looks like just really sharp plastic. The other one looks metal. And then you just slam it down, get angry, and then you lock it in place. And then you press the button on the side. I'm not going to do it. I don't know why. Because I'm not making coffee that way. We're going to make coffee the real way. The way real women make their coffee. Ooh, look, I can make it look like we're in a forest. What? I have a plant that's alive. Look, Heather. Heather's not watching this, but I have a plant. It's alive. I can kill everything. Okay. I see if I can find it. I can. All right. So this mug from my mother, who I believe stole it from my uncle. Colorado. Well, it's a beautiful Colorado. All right. So for this way of making coffee, it's a little bit different. Zetus is a penis. I never cleaned up after myself. All right. So we have this. This is called a pour-over system. I do this because it is the best ratio of effort to grounds in your cup at the end of the day. The other option that we have is the French press. Even less effort, but a lot more grounds in your cup at the end of the day. Why? Probably because I'm doing it wrong. Why else? But first thing you do is you take your filter. Now, this is a fancy German style pour over method. So technically, you don't need a filter. And I have for a long time, for most of the time that I've owned this thing, I did not use a filter. I have moved to these non-bleached compostable filters because they're so much easier to clean. As you can tell, I need as few steps from messy to not messy in order for me to actually do it. So this is nice. I just take once it's over, take the grounds out, put them in the compost, put the compost in the compost. Maybe I'll show you how to compost one day. I don't know that I'm doing it correctly, so who knows? That's probably not. This Tutorial Tuesdays, when I teach you things, is like you're taking sort of your life in your own hands. There's definitely a lot of better tutorials you could watch out there that would actually teach you what you're wanting to learn. You're getting this like third hand from me because I watched a tutorial, did the thing again, have now forgotten the tutorial and I'm doing it whatever way makes sense to me, have stopped caring that it doesn't work the same way that it did when I used the tutorial, and have stopped desiring to hone my method. So you're getting it sort of like filtered through my laziness and the things that I think are important. So that's fun. Coffee. Oh, wait, no. Coffee. I do not know if my friend Hannah watches these. She lives in Togo right now. Well, has lived in Togo for several years now. But she is the one who got me this. She got me one that says T across it, which is also over there. What do we have in there? Because I have like 4 tea tins. And then we also have just like a lot of loose leaf tea now that doesn't really fit into one big tea tin. Interesting. I don't know. Take the coffee out. This coffee happens to be very old. So old that I cannot see. I have covered over. I believe it's peat. You take the spoon. This spoon has gone down through the ages. It actually probably came with this thing. I love how animated I am about this now, even though like 10 minutes ago I was like, oh. I do have to leave in 10 minutes, so let's make this coffee next. All right. This is an electric kettle. Filled with water, in case you were unaware. I'm going to fill it not as full as I normally fill it, because I normally fill it all the way full because there's tea in the morning. And I like to have some hot water ready for him when he wakes up. But I'm not going to do that because it takes a long time. Like I said, we're on a time crunch, people. I got to go get my blood taken. so that I can eat breakfast. Oh. They're going to forcibly take my blood. I wrote a tutorial on composting and how to convince others living with you. Okay, J Money. Well, I mean, that was written by Jasmine, but J Money is living with Jasmine. So J Money needs to be taught how to compost. And let me tell you, J Money, a lot of people will tell you that it's difficult to compost. It's not. It's really not. I put 2. I used to put 4. Then I realized that was too many. Okay. I don't know if composting, I could make a video on composting without because what do I show you? I guess I could show you the things I'm in that. It stinks. It stinks real bad in there. But that's why it's got a fancy. Okay, you know what? I'll just make a video next week about telling you all the things that I own that make composting possible for me. Look at that. I will say, in my opinion, drinking coffee is step 1 to composting because coffee is compostable and it is the most nitrous thing that I think nitrous is the word I'm looking for. It is the most. It was peats. I covered back up again. But it was peats. It's the source of most of my brown, as opposed to the green. That doesn't make any sense until next week. Tune in next week for Mary's lazy person composting tutorial. Okay, so you can hear maybe that the water is boiling. I have now put my 2 little tablespoons. I don't know what those are. Well, 7 grams or 1/4 of an ounce. This is a German company that makes this. That's how you know it's good. The German company makes this. The German company makes. Oh, dogs want to go outside. Water's still boiling, so we can let the dogs outside. Come with me. Well, I'll let the dogs outside. Oh my goodness, they're so excited. What are they excited about? There's a squirrel. There's a squirrel. There's a squirrel. Okay. I don't think there was a squirrel. No. But it's nice and cool out there now. You might be able to hear the attic fan going. Oh, don't look at that. Oh, don't look at how messy the house is. Don't do that. That would be bad. I don't want anyone to know because we haven't had anyone over in almost 2 months. No one's seen the inside of our house besides the couch. Water's almost boiled. So I probably shouldn't let the water boil completely. And here's my thought on that. Boiling water is really hot. So because boiling water is so hot, you can burn your coffee. So I actually like to let some of the steam off. Let it settle down so it's not doing the bubbly thing anymore. And then you pour over in a circular, it's sort of like a whack-a-mole situation. I could have done this in a more interesting camera angle. What you do is, let's see, how do I set this down? All right. Whack-a-mole situation. So what you do is you see how there is a sort of conical, sunken look about this coffee. In the center, there is a valley, and on the edges, the coffee grounds are sticking to it. So now we play whack-a-mole, where we are trying to get the grounds off the side. So that's the first round is just try to get all the grounds. You play whack-a-mole by trying to get all the grounds. trying to get them all. Then this is like absolutely the wrong way to do this. Okay, then we play whack-a-mole because we want to get the coffee off the sides. We want to do it with the gravity force of the water. You don't want to just like get it off the sides by letting the water come up to it, because that's not as satisfying. I don't know the reason for this. It doesn't work as well. I don't know if it makes the coffee any better, but the thing is, if you force the grounds off the edges with gravity, with the pressure of the water, then they stay down. And your water filters through more of the grounds. That's probably what it is. The water will then have to filter through all of the ground as opposed to just the middle part of the grounds, which is what it was doing in the last go through. Now, it is possible, don't see my messy house. There we go. It is possible that I'm like looking at myself, obviously, because I'm the most interesting thing here, but my camera is up there. It is possible that you are supposed to continuously pour over in a circular motion around to get the coffee grounds off the sides of the cone. That would make sense. The only problem is I cannot do that. I have found, especially with these filters that I use, because they filter more slowly than the little metal filter does, obviously, because they are an extra filter. So they fill up, and then I'm just pouring hot water all over myself. So 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Now, once you can see that your grounds they're not dry, certainly. I can show you dry grounds because I just took them out. Oh, I don't want to show them to you. That's gross. I thought I had like put them in more like straight up and down, but I had to smoosh them because our compost is full. But anyway, so once your coffee is stopped filtering through, you can look at sort of the filtery situation. Is it still dripping? Technically, yes. Actually, no, it's not anymore. Okay, good. Perfect. Where is it's right there. My coffee mug. Okay, we're gonna go put you back on the windowsill. You're on the windowsill here. And first thing we do is we pour out yesterday's coffee. Should have done it yesterday. I'm aware. I know. Oh, jeez. All right. This is, my friends, this is a hydro flask. And I love hydro flasks. They really work to keep, okay, I loved hydro flasks before all the Visco girls did. I just want to let you know. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Visco girl. I like Visco. It's a nice situation. I don't know much about the art or the photos. I don't know anything about the actual, like the namesake Visco, but I do not use that. But the Visco girl concept is fine. But this particular hydro flask is a little bit of a wiener, because for one thing, it clicks really loud, and it like vibrates, so it like resonates with my fingers when I click it. Most hydro flasks that I know of, for instance, we bought this one. We bought one for my husband too, and his does not click that loudly or that forcefully. There we go. And also, the seal in this thing has wiggled a bit, and I think that's more my fault than anything else. But it is not perfectly aligned anymore. So sometimes the suction between this thing, and maybe it's not just suction. I don't know. Maybe there's a way I could fix it, but it's frequently hard to clean out. This is a very hopeful mug. You were lost. Hope is gone. Welcome to Tuesday. I mean, it goes on after that, but you can't really get to a very happy place, and that's where you're starting. But that's okay. Sometimes life isn't about happy places. We have this. We have our coffee. It must be black because we are fasting, so we are not allowed to put milk in it. That's okay. It won't kill us. I swear. It won't give me hypertension. It will be fine. So then, with this particular system, you do want to find the lip because it does not pour easily otherwise. I'm just going to set the filter down there for a second. I will pick it up. I will clean it up as soon as I'm done with this. This is very hot coffee. Now, the thing about hydro flasks is that hot coffee put into a hydro flask stays hot. And I do mean stays and hot. I almost got exactly the right amount. See, that's the thing. I always guess. I guess with the amount of water that I put in here. I could probably measure it. My husband tried to convince me to measure it, or tried to measure it himself once. But I can't be bothered. Okay, so see how easy that is? It's so much easier than trying to get the grounds out of this completely by themselves, which is what I always used to do. And it was mind-blowing. I was like, oh, I can just use another filter. What is this? Okay. Almost open. Grounds in. Forcefully closing. No bugs getting in there. So that's how you make coffee. I showed you two ways. I could show you a third way, but that would be wasteful because I'm not going to drink that coffee for sure. But instead, you could use a French press, in which case you just put the two scoopies of coffee straight into this. You'd put the water straight into this. You'd let it steep for maybe 30 seconds or something because it doesn't really take that long. And then you put the filter in. Yeah, push it down. And then you have coffee up here and coffee grounds down here. You will have some coffee grounds up here. Sorry, that's just life. I use this for making cold brew. It's not really cold brew. Well, no, it is cold brew, I suppose. You can put the grounds in and put just regular water, not boiling water, not hot water. Just put regular water in there. And if you leave it overnight, it tastes like coffee in the morning. I believe, without looking this up, I am just saying this off the top of my head. I believe that coffee steeps better, has like a better transferal of flavor to the water in hot water, and that's why cold brew takes longer, generally speaking. So now we have our coffee. Smells good. Smells like coffee. You blow on it. You blow on it because it's hot. Now I'm not going to put the top on this yet because it's so hot, but I really want some. And I don't want to drink it out of that metal thing because it's very hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit into that aforementioned colorful Colorado mug. That was a very little bit. Well, I do have to test whether I can actually drink this. I haven't drunk black coffee in a while. I usually put like the tiniest bit of like 2% milk. Really, any milk will do. Okay. This is good coffee. Thank you for watching this more improvised tutorial Tuesdays. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Take a shower. I need to do that. But I didn't want to do it this morning. You want to know why? Because it's early. Oh, it's not that early. But there's just a lot of things I would have had to do. And that's too many things. There may come a time in the near future when I will be doing at least some of my
morning live streams this early. Mostly because I will have to go to work earlier coming up here in a little bit in my life. But that doesn't happen every day. So we'll just deal with it as it comes. But if you liked this early edition, let me know. Because that's helpful to know that there will indeed be people watching me, even though it's earlier than normal. All right, make good choices. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Tip your waitress and other people who are not